Hey, it's Robert from ADS, and in today's workshop, we're going to show you how to use Weblink Hub to take key readings and deliver expanded vehicle coverage like never before. Weblink Hub, like all of our other Weblink updaters, can be used to program remote starters. It also allows us to go get vehicle readings from the car and crunch those to make firmware, but in this case, we can also take key readings, which helps us get into even more cars than ever before. When you plug a new device into Weblink, Weblink Desktop will detect it and present this main screen over here. We can go ahead and configure a new module by clicking on the new module button and choosing the vehicle. Today, we're going to flash a Mazda 3. So we've chosen Mazda, and it'll be a 2024 model Mazda 3. If there are multiple trims available for the vehicle, they'll be displayed here. We've got one, which is a push to start automatic. And at this point, we can choose what kind of RF we're using. Now, what's cool about iData Start starters is you can program the remotes during the Weblink process, so you don't have to do them in the car once you're installing the module. One of the innovative features of Weblink Desktop is you can program the remotes that you're going to give your customer during the programming process for the module. So in this case, we have this LoRa remote that's already programmed for the module. It came in the box. And if you have any others, you can place or type up to 4 different serial numbers here for the remotes, and they'll be good to go once a module's flashed. You won't have to program them physically in the car. If we have any telematics that we're attaching today, we can configure that here or not. Oh, and in this car, an accessory is required. In this case, an ACC RFID. You're warned about that at this point, so you don't go ahead and complete the install without having the required accessories. Once we acknowledge that, we see the firmware that's recommended for the vehicle, any accessories that are required, and any accessories that are optional. We can go ahead and continue at this point. And now we're being asked to enter the serial number of the harness that we're using to do the install. This is for multiple reasons, including ensuring you're using genuine analog or T harnesses, and to help in the case of future recalls or tech bulletins where we may need to reach out to you. Let's go ahead and say I'm using an MA6 T harness, and if I don't have the serial number, I can just go ahead and click this button here, tell Weblink that I don't have the serial number, and if I have available credits, like I have here 13, then I can go on and perform the install without actually entering the serial number. These credits are accumulated every time you use a genuine harness. So for the most part, as you go through your work days, you'll always have some sort of credits available if you lost or don't have a serial number. We're now being warned that we have a requirement to use either RF or telematics. That's because on this vehicle, we cannot use the factory key fob to start or stop the car. So you got to acknowledge that you're using RF, which in our case we are. And we're given a very quick configuration here if we don't want to touch anything else. So we can choose the runtime or disable or enable the alarm. But if we dig into the other features that are available or other configurable options, here we see a whole slew of menus, and some of them actually make your life a little bit easier. So if I scroll down here to the parking light confirmation, which is number 20, constant on, well, that requires you to connect a wire. If we want to do that in data instead, we can go ahead and choose flashing every 10 seconds, and that'll save you from having to install or run a hardwired cable. Moving on, we see a summary of the guides that are available and wiring information. So I can go here and click on See My Wires and what each of the connection points are and some pictures that are associated with them. So we help you locate where the connector is and what the wires look like. Moving on, we're now getting to the point where we flash the product. So here's what we've selected. This is our starter, this is our vehicle, and this is our RF. Going on to flash your device, we're being warned to disconnect your battery during the installation, and now we're moving on to the actual flashing process. This uses Weblink's key reading technology. So we're being told you need to be able to bring one of the vehicle keys for the process. So we acknowledge that. And now we're being asked to put the key into the Weblink hub. Once that's in there, we want to make sure that we keep other keys away from the hub. We don't want to erase them by mistake. And go ahead and click continue. So now we're reading the key that's in the hub. This only takes a few seconds. And once we get that key information out of the key and into Weblink, we're able to go on with the process. So that's done. We can remove the key and continue. At this point, we're using the key data and flashing the remote starter. This takes a little bit longer, and once that's done, we'll be able to move on to the accessory. While we're waiting for the firmware to load to the module, let's talk about the accessory you need, the RFID one. So this is a tiny little box that connects in line with the remote starter. It's web programmable, as you'll see in a second. And what that gives us is the opportunity to talk to the same circuit that the car's key talks with. So we've taken the key reading, we've put that into the starter, but now we need a way to talk to the car. And that's what this little thing does. With the firmware loaded onto the module, I'm being asked to disconnect the starter, which I've just done, and plug in the RFID accessory. With that done, now it's flashing the key data to the RFID. So we had the starter get the starter software, and now we're getting the RFID get the key software. And once that's done, our module is configured, our RFID is configured, and we can go put this in the car. And there you have it, the whole process with Weblink, Weblink Hub, and a Mazda example. I hope you see how easy that is and how it can get you into a lot more cars. For more information, go to www.weblinkupdater.com, and thanks for watching.